What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. And reserved for the best is super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comics. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop. What's good, y'all? Getting it all together. Hello, everybody. Sixth element of hip hop is the channel. I am your host, Reno Noir, and this is your co-host, Stu Dog and Sada. Welcome, y'all. How y'all doing? What's going wrong? Okay. Knew someone, right? Gotta get that backlighting on. Okay. Yeah. Shout out Slade. What's good? He's happy to see Sada.
Hi, Slade.
Corey Adger, salute. Oh man. DC Power Hour. It's Saturday, y'all.
Here we go.
It's DC Day. A lot of cool shit going on with DC.
Corey Adger, salute. Slade, salute. Yeah, a lot.
Well, yeah.
No, you don't.
Council of Sada. Salute.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you never know, man. Too much of anything is right.
Absolutely.
Too much water can make you drown. But nah, I can't get enough Sada. But so what's going on, guys? What's going on with DC, man? Some DC.
Not good things, and then kind of good things.
I got a good one. I got a good one for Miss Sada. Miss Sada. Right here, hot off the press. For Miss Sada, right here. Okay, yeah. Miss Sada. James Gunn cleared up his Wonder Woman. He gives his update for the future of DCU castings, and one was Wonder Woman. There was one Twitter user asked Gunn if Wonder Woman was part of his current plans for the DCU, and if the character would be dormant for a long time. Gunn confirmed that Wonder Woman does have a future, and in his plans, that the character will not be absent for too long.
Yeah. It's good shit. Leading, he's already well underway in developing this new slate, and recently teasing that his first new project is almost finished with casting. He's doing the
I'll turn that off.
It's going to start off with the Creature Commandos, which is an animated feature on HBO Max. Will sort of spotlight the new cast of characters and bring back a couple of the returning actors from Gunn's past work. But yeah, it's still unclear exactly how Creature Commandos fits into the larger narrative. But it's expected to, sort of serve as the opening chapter. Before Superman Legacy jumpstarts the theatrical slate in 2025 in July. And it with it being an animated title, plenty of time will need to be allotted for, production once the rest of the cast is filled in behind the scenes and all of that. But just to this point, he's just casting. He's just, got the casting done. And he revealed on Twitter, that he's almost done with the casting process. And that, it'll be the first project and all of that. And when a fan asked him if there was any news on the series, basically noting that starting production, almost done casting, and just a refresher. This is wait, do I have a Creature Commando? I don't have that one up here. Okay. So Creature Commandos, let me get y'all a picture of it. I thought it looked good. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Doom Patrol. Just
That's
because
exactly
of
what it's like.
the weird characters and monster creatures but I mean, you're definitely looking at classic Hollywood monster types, but like Bride of Frankenstein instead of Frankenstein. You got the robot guy there, little flaming skeleton guy. There's the creature in the Black Lagoon with the bubble head, and then there's Frankenstein. Looks like a Ren and Stimpy cat over there on the side, looking like Ren. There's a throwback reference for y'all, Ren and Stimpy. But yeah, that's the Creature Commandos. That's his joint, right? That's his new entry, along with the Bride of Frankenstein and Rick Flag Sr. Sean Gunn is confirmed to make his return as Weasel. Probably remember from Suicide Squad, after first popping up in Gunn's version, the Suicide Squad. But outside of him, there's plenty of work to be done in the casting department, especially considering that all these characters could be used in live action with the same actors. You know what I'm saying? Because he's doing the same, trying to keep the same actors across all the mediums.
And then remember remember we had last week where I was saying how with this super, what is it, the ones from the future? Damn, I keep drawing a blank. Legion of Superheroes, the movie they just put out, teased at the end credits was Mongol. So I think that somehow Mongol was going to be in the DCU, and he's going to be the big bad instead of Darkseid this time. We just had his daughter. His daughter was in the last Suicide Squad movie, and she got killed. So, and they keep teasing. I think it was this summer or this past year. They had Superman on War World and Batman. Everybody was on War World fighting Mongol. They even have a character. I think we see. Remember we were looking at Arena of Superman. He had the chains.
Yeah.
Tore up the suit with the battle axe. That's what he looks like in the comic. I had a couple of them. I didn't finish reading the whole thing. I read a couple comics here and there, but I didn't read the whole thing. I think I'm gonna wait for the trade paperback to come out, and then I'll just get them all and read them all in one shot because I just couldn't keep up with them when they were coming out.
Yeah, there are also rumors of Dave Bautista playing Lex Luthor, but we'll get into that in a second. With Creature Commandos being the only project in development right now for the DCU, a lot of fans are trying to figure out, what stars, who may, maybe be jumping in. And most recently, if you guys remember Frank Grillo from, what is he from? He's from like that. What's the joint? Where one night you can go kill people. What's the
Purge?
Okay, yeah. So
he played Crossbones, right? In the MCU.
And I think I think he did.
Yeah, seen your moments too, just like me.
Frank Grillo, right?
Was it?
I'm thinking about the same guy. Because he appeared in Winter Soldier and then he came back in Civil War as Crossbones for like 5 seconds.
Okay, that's why. Because I don't remember that. But if it was
Frank
like
Grillo, yeah, that was him.
That was him. Yep. Yeah, that's the guy. So that guy, he tagged himself in a post with James Gunn, and sort of teasing that he may be in line for one of these roles, one of these DC projects. But with no, confirmed release date or specific time frame in production, we just have to wait for more info from them, from James Gunn as far as that goes. But I always liked him, Grillo. I thought Frank Grillo's cool. He's kind of underrated. He seems like he's like a real, like he's not even acting like he's really that dude. Like he just seems like he's a real man's man, kind of just like badass kind of guy. I like that. He's cool. And so he always makes good villains and stuff like that. But yeah, Crossbones is probably perfect. And yep. The Batman spinoff is apparently gonna be pretty dark, but according to the the star of the Penguin series, it's gonna be darker than we thought, darker than we even expected, darker than the movie apparently. But yeah, it didn't take too long for the after the success of Robert Pattinson's Batman, before Warner Brothers started greenlighting spin-offs pretty much right away, and among them was focusing on Arkham Asylum, and the other is Colin Farrell's Penguin, more of a gangster show. A lot of people were worried that James Gunn's recent new plans for this rebooted DCU could end up canceling the project, which was not the case, of course. Ahead of production starting up, its lead actor has teased what the show will look like. In an interview with Gold Derby, Penguin actor Colin Farrell sort of shared his thoughts on the upcoming spinoff and teasing how dark the story is. He said, I don't know, Jesus, I don't know. I mean, you'll be blown away by the makeup. It's because it's just, I don't know how I don't know enough about the materials and about the different choices of skin tone that Mike Marino and Mike Fontaine are using, but it's even the makeup is even somehow a very subtle way, even better. It's just more perfected. Doesn't really read as well when he said it, but basically he was asked directly if audiences will be blown away by what the new spinoff will have to offer, and basically admitting how he doesn't know, but that everyone will definitely be blown away by the makeup, because that he does know about. Because these actors, they keep them in the dark. What they'll do is they'll have them read the script, and they'll have them reread scenes 3 or 4 different ways. They'll be like, okay, read that again like you're mad. And they'll be like, read that again like you're really happy. Read that again like you're a dog. You know what I mean? Like, they'll have them read it in like 6 different ways, so they have no idea what the scene's going to be like or what the movie's going to be about or anything. That's how they sort of try to keep it under wraps, one of the ways. So these stars in these interviews, they really know what the hell they're talking about. They couldn't leak too much, because they don't know everything. But yeah, he said he said that they're basically the filming is starting on the 27th or 28th of February of this month. Yeah. But yeah, he went on to note that the Penguin show is dark, and with all of the impressive makeup, he's able to explore that darkness in a unique way. So whatever. But he said, so I'm super excited about it. I've read the first 5 of 8, and they're without shadow of a doubt extraordinary scripts. They're so good, man, which doesn't mean I'm not saying that the show's going to be. It's on paper, such fucking great stuff. I'm so excited. Yeah, man. What do you think, Stu? You think that you excited for that? I know you are. I know you like that movie.
Oh, very excited. I'm excited for anything Gunn does, bro. I don't think I've seen a project.
No, Gunn's not doing this. This is Matt Reeves.
I mean, not Gunn. I mean, Matt Reeves. I'm excited because it's gonna be dark, and if it's anything like Peacemaker, it'll be good. Because Peacemaker was good, bro. I really did enjoy watching Peacemaker. And Penguin, it's been coming for a long time, and he's one of the more underrated characters.
I don't think it's gonna be anything like Peacemaker, though.
No, I know it's not gonna be. Not with the jokes and all that.
Yeah,
more serious on a serious tip. Yeah,
more like
that's what I'm. Yeah. Right, that's what I'm excited for, because Penguin's underrated, man. I just read Penguin One Bad Day, and it was really good. If they can keep that tone and do this, it'll be real. It'll be good. Yeah, if you get a chance, read Penguin One Bad Day. It was good. It was really, really good.
Oh yeah, I read that. Yeah. All the One Bad Days are phenomenal. But it's really no surprise that it's going to be dark, because Matt Reeves, the movie, his Gotham was definitely dark. And
yes, it was.
Yeah. But this time around, in theory, the story could get as dark as they want, because this is just a gangster show. This is the gangster version of Penguin. This isn't the monocle and the cigarette, with the top hat, the little short, this isn't that Penguin. This is the gangster Penguin, which we've seen in some iterations. I think I won't say that the Penguin we got in Gotham, that actor was very gangster or made it seem gangster, but he was supposed to be like a gangster. And I like that, making Penguin a mob boss.
Because in the comics, Penguin is a mob boss. Like when you look at Penguin in the comics compared to the way they portrayed him in like
or
And
like
they
the
got that
TV
from the
show in the
66
60s.
Bat. Yeah, they got it
Yeah,
from the 66 Batman. In the
right,
comics, Penguin runs his criminal organization from the Iceberg Lounge,
right.
but he's real slick at the way he does it. Like he runs guns, he runs traffics. I mean, human. Like he does it all. There's nothing that goes down in Gotham that Penguin either doesn't have a hand in or knows that it's going down. And
Yeah.
because of Penguin, a lot of the gangs don't fight or cause violence in Gotham because of Penguin, because Penguin
Hmm.
keeps them all in check. But
Right.
Penguin's biggest flaw in the comics is that he wants to roll with the Hossie Diddy crowd, but they know like he's a level, you know what I mean? Like he comes
Yeah.
from money, but the people with money don't want to really, they don't treat him like that. They treat his
Hmm.
brother and his sister like that, but not him. But all
Yeah.
the power that his family
Cobblepot.
has, right? All the power that they have is from Penguin and the things that he does. So they fear the Cobblepot name, but they don't want to deal with Penguin. They come to the Iceberg Lounge, but they don't invite him to their balls. They don't
Yeah.
invite him
Right.
to their
He
birthday
can't kick
parties.
it with high society and the
Right.
socialite because
They'll
and
come
we saw
down.
that in
Yeah, they'll
Batman
come
Returns.
down. Yeah, they'll come down, but they won't let him come up.
Right.
And that's Penguin's biggest thing.
Yeah. And that's so a lot of mobsters and like in Italians and stuff like that, when I was a kid, like guys around my grandfather and stuff like that, like those mob guys, they don't want to be mob guys, right? They don't want to be gangsters. They want to be businessmen. They want to be legit. They want to be high society. Some of them relish in it. Some of them revel in that gangster life, and some of them want to be hitmen and they want to be gang. But the big Paul Castellanos and the mob guys that were really just business. They were really just smart business guys that just were born in the wrong neighborhood. A lot of these guys would have been Fortune 500 company, CEOs, but they were born in Bensonhurst or on Mulberry Street, and with other Italian gangsters, and that's just how it came out. But it's I guess what I mean is that it's a familiar story for the gangster who wants to join society, wants to go legit, wants to be seen as a respectable businessman and all of that. And with Penguin, it's a really good. It's dope to use a character like Penguin because he's physically deformed, right? And so he's like it's like an exaggerated, version of this trope, this cliche, this gangster cliche.
It is. It
What's
is.
going on over here? Slade wants to be a mob boss. Basically 50 Cent in Gotham. More like more like Tony Soprano in Gotham, yeah. Or
Yeah, it'd be like more like yeah.
or Goodfellas or something. Yeah. Do you guys think they will have his parasols? That's it. That's I was wondering. I don't know if he's gonna do the umbrella thing. It would be cool if they did a nod to it. Maybe he comes in from the rain and he does something funny with the umbrella or something. I don't know. But like seeing him walking around, whack whack whack, shooting at that, we're not gonna see that. It won't be that.
Oh, I would want him to have.
Because
the umbrella.
he doesn't
Yeah.
do that in the comics. He'll have the umbrellas, or sometimes he'll have one of his henchmen. They'll be carrying the umbrella for him, and Penguin
Yeah.
will be like, like he'll be like, "Hey, my umbrella," and then he'll have a machine gun, parasol. He'll start
Machine
shooting.
gun run, yeah.
Yeah, and then he'll
I
hand it
like the
back
one
to
where
him.
it hypnotizes you. It spins around and it hypnotizes
Yeah,
you.
or
Yeah, he
gas.
always
Like
had
he'll have a
secret
gas
gadget.
one.
Yeah, I
Gas
hope we
out
see
there.
that.
Yeah, he always had.
that's
He always did have
true.
gadget weapons. You can't take that away from Penguin. Penguin did always have.
Not at all.
Or he'll have a knife. Yeah, one will have a knife in it. So it's a bunch.
Mhm.
Tim
If
Burton
we
did a
actually
good
see
job.
the drones, that would be the funniest thing. I feel like we're
Penguin
not,
drones.
but I would
Yeah.
love to see that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
penguin
Tim
drone.
Burton's Penguin. Yeah.
His
He really-
Penguin was good.
I liked his
Hey,
penguin.
DeVito, that was great. I like that. Yeah, that was a great. But that's what I mean. Like Tim Burton was definitely more comic booky, even leaning more towards that 66 Batman version, that Penguin version. Whereas this is definitely more of like this is more like a Falcone version of Penguin, where he's like a Falcone guy.
Yeah, I have found some interesting tidbits about '89 Batman that even I didn't know. I watched. I was on YouTube. I don't even know how I came up on my YouTube feed. They were talking about the making of Batman and all of that, and they were saying how like when they first did Batman '89, they had planned on making like all the movies we got. They planned on making all of those movies.
Yeah,
And they casted all of those people that played those parts like years in advance.
way
Except for Batgirl and Robin were the only ones they didn't. Yeah, but they had Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. They had DeVito as Penguin. Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah, they had all of them on board. And
back when
I don't know
just
what
the
happened.
first movie was out.
Right? Yeah.
I remember.
That blew my mind away.
I remember it
back then. Yeah.
I remember hearing because they like the rumor where they were like, they're gonna have part 3, part 4, all of this.
Yep, part 4,
Danny DeVito as the Penguin and Jim Carrey is the Riddler and blah blah blah. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here! You're making shit up. And fucking.
Nah, it was all true. It was all true. It was all true.
Because back then, that was before the internet. That was before any of this shit. You would never hear these kind of things. So that was kind of amazing to hear all of that. And then for it to then become true.
I was watching the story. They showed the storyboards. Like they were going through it. I'll send it to you. They were showing the storyboards. It was like an hour long. I sat there and watched the whole thing. But my jaw was on the floor because I was like, everything they said did come to fruition. But the only thing that messed up was Hollywood. They get too greedy. They want to change things. They want to draw in more and more the casual audience. And Tim Burton was saying how he had a lot of creative differences with the producers after I think it was the second movie. And then he brought in Joel Schumacher because he didn't want to direct. He just was like, I'll produce. Because his thing was, well, I did sign on for this, so if y'all just make me producer, I'll stay at producer level and y'all can get a new director. Right. And I wish he would have stayed at the director level. Because the movies, the tone changes from the first two to everything else.
It's a complete shift. It just
it is, you can tell. And then Joel Schumacher came in and he put nipples on the bat suit. He didn't really want to do Robin, but Robin was supposed to be in the other movies. We were actually supposed to get Robin in the movie with Riddler. And then he wanted Batgirl instead of Robin. And there was a big thing with that. And that's why we got Batgirl in the last movie. That's why Batgirl didn't feel like it belonged. When you watch that movie, you're like, they could have kind of kept Batgirl. Because it didn't belong. They wrote that in last. And it ruined the movie. It just ruined the movie. It was a good idea they had.
Speaking of that, Tim Burton didn't like the Prince song. The Prince songs are great, man. That was a great part.
That was a good decision on the studio side.
Nah, they were great. Yeah, that was on the studio part. Yeah.
But Tim Burton's Batman, Batman fits Tim Burton's dark, sort of whimsical weirdness and everything. But Superman would have been too weird for Burton.
No, that probably would have been on the level of what Snyder ended up doing. Maybe a little beyond that though. Yeah. Well, I tried to hold it for y'all because I wanted to do this unboxing, and I got this on Thursday. Was it Thursday or Friday? But anyway, I couldn't resist. I had to open it. I'm sorry, but this is it.
Reno, you have inspired millions to open their things.
Open the box, y'all.
So open the box. I know somebody personally that watches our show that told me. They said Reno inspired me to open them all up and take them out, and I've been much happier ever since. Those are the words that came out.
It's so much more fun. So this Superman speeding bullets, but it's Batman, but it's Superman.
That was a dope comic.
I'm just so amazed that they rarely come with these stands. So this actually comes with the flying stand, right?
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, and that was not like it wasn't like a gold label or nothing. I mean, this is just, you can see this is just a regular DC multiverse, and it came with that the thing. But that's so this Batman version of Batman right here, you see the bat symbol on the Superman sort of background logo thing there, and you can see his face is fully covered up. And it's from this. It's from Superman Speeding Bullets.
Phenomenal comic. Phenomenal
really cool.
comic.
It is. It is.
I actually read that comic cover to cover like twice, man. I was blown away by it because it explores we know Batman doesn't kill, and we know Superman is a Boy Scout. So what it does is they took and they kind of merged the two together, even the way that they operate. Like when Batman's parents die in the alley, it's Clark Kent or Cal. And Cal, that's the first time he uses his powers, and he actually kills the assailants with his heat vision. He burns them. He just burns them to death. And that's the first time he figured out he had powers. He was like, "Oh, I got powers! Like, what's up?" But
so in this version, it's like, you know, we know that Superman lands in Smallville. Basically, baby Kal-El crashes onto Earth, but instead of being discovered by, you know, the Clarks, he's discovered by Thomas and Martha Wayne, the Kents.
The Wayne's
you know, and they always wanted a son, right? And so, but then the couple they adopted Kal-El, they name him Bruce. And one night, Thomas and Martha, they're gunned down by a mugger, still named Joe Chill, in the alleyway, and Bruce burns Chill's face with his heat vision, which leads to Chill being found dead the next day, and you know, and discovers his superpowers, but he's too late to save his parents. And ashamed of his failure, he represses the knowledge of his powers, right? So, and remember, his powers are based on the sun, and so years later, an adult Bruce become isolated and paranoid. He's hiding out in Wayne Manor. He's a recluse, and he's super hearing forces him to be aware of all the crimes going on in Gotham. And so he obsessively collects newspaper clippings of violent crimes around the world, and armed bank robbers break into the manor while he's there, take his butler Alfred hostage, and Bruce, in a violent fury, he remembers his powers and he uses them to save Alfred. And Alfred takes him to a cave under the manor and shows Bruce the ship that brought him to Earth, and sort of revealing his alien origins and all of that. And meanwhile, the robbers return to their employer, who kills them for their failure. And Bruce creates a costume for himself as the Batman and begins to brutally strike back at all the criminals in Gotham. And you know, Lex Luthor at the time was a Metropolis-based industrialist who survived this life-threatening industrial accident the years before and moves his corporate headquarters to Gotham. And he organizes a buyout of Wayne Enterprises. And to everyone's shock, Bruce arrives just as the contract is about to be signed and shuts down the deal, announcing that, you know, he'll take personal control of the day-to-day running of his businesses moving forward. And Bruce also purchases the Gotham Gazette and poaches Perry White and Lois Lane from the Daily Planet, and which has become a soulless mouthpiece for Lex Luthor. And Lois gains a great respect for Bruce's passion and idealism as a publisher, and he in turn is smitten with her. And weeks later, Bruce or Batman rescues Lois from a gang of assailants, and horrified at the vicious, superpowered beating that he delivers, she angrily rebuffs him when he tries to help her up. She's like, "Get the fuck off me! You're crazy! You're a violent bastard!" And so Lois subsequently writes an editorial criticizing Batman's brutal conduct, and Lex arrives to kidnap Lois and reveals the accident that he suffered bleached his skin chalk white and turned his lips ruby red and drove him insane, right? So he's like the Joker. And he also reveals that he's been using his vast fortune to attempt a total military takeover of Gotham with a huge army of heavily armed mercenaries and armored vehicles. And Batman stops the takeover, of course, captures Lex, who seems to care little about his failed coup and the loss of life that it's caused, right? So Bruce is eventually persuaded by Lois that Gotham needs his idealistic Bruce Wayne more than the violent Batman. And he decides to give up his costumed identity and assumes the mantle of Superman, and the rest is sort of history. But so this is really, so it's sort of just like a different origin for the same Superman. He still ends up becoming Superman, but in this graphic novel, his origins, he starts out as Batman, the Caped Crusader, running around Gotham at night. So it's really cool to see all those fucking dope differences. And what's Noran talking about? Oh, Robin Williams is gonna be Joker. Yeah, Jack Nicholson replaced him. I'm glad he did though, honestly, bro. Because can you imagine? But now Robin is the Riddler. I could see that. That would have been all right. Maybe, I don't know. Could have been cool. At the front of it, used Flash becomes Batman. I think. Jim Carrey is the Riddler. I just didn't. I wasn't feeling. He was too.
I think it was the right casting, but just wrong direction.
Yeah, the way he was too kooky with it, too crazy. I don't know, too wacky. The whole movie was too wacky. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Jim Carrey did play it right. I mean, he played it for the way they told him to play it. That's how the movie went, right? And he did his job. He did a great job. But speaking of Superman in different clothes, I guess, and this would be great, and I hope it works out. But fans are celebrating as they're finding out that the ex-DC star of Superman, Henry Cavill, will be starring alongside Marvel's Robert Downey Jr. in Sherlock Holmes 3. And, rumors, of course, take the internet by storm. And like all great things coming to fruition, of course, it's patience that's the key. But Hollywood rarely waits around for decades when a film or a franchise shows immense potential for success. And, personally, I'm a big fan of Guy Ritchie's Sherlock Holmes. I don't know how y'all feel about it. I thought they were phenomenal.
They're great. They're great movies.
They were really dope. I like I love the fight scenes and the way that they, the way that Guy Ritchie did that. The way he would slow it down and break down, like he'll be like tell you everything he's gonna do and then do it type shit. I love that shit. And it's one, both of the movies is a two movies, I guess, is a duology, right? 3 movies is a trilogy. So it's a duology, and but I think it's weird that they didn't do a third one because both of the movies were so super successful and loved. Like there was no really, I don't know, I didn't see no reason why they just didn't make it a trilogy. But I guess that's what they're talking about now. So granted, some projects are better left alone. This one, I think, and solely because of how great the original narrative is, Arthur Conan Doyle's mythology is an endlessly reincarnated adaptation in the era of modern film and television.
That would be Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yeah.
You gotta put some respect on his name.
Yeah, he's a sir. That's right. And but Guy Ritchie's version, simply I think is the best of all of the Sherlock Holmes movies or shows or anything that I ever saw in my life. And
they were the best I've ever seen. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them in forever, so I'm fairly
indifferent. They kind of modernized. Yeah, they modernized it. Yeah, they modernized Sherlock Holmes in a way that was
like it still took place in Victorian,
right?
Ancient, but it was still modern the way
modernized.
Yeah,
I love those movies. I'm with you too, Reno. Why did we never get a part 3 on that? Because I
guess they didn't feel like there was anything to capitalize on with Sherlock Holmes anymore, or maybe they are like, because I know they had a TV show. I think a lot of stuff with Sherlock Holmes over the years. Cavill played Sherlock Holmes in the Netflix stuff, so I think that's interesting if he joins with Robert Downey Jr. for yet another Sherlock Holmes. So
right,
wondering what his role would even be.
Yeah, because it can't play Sherlock, but it was I think it was around the time too that Robert Downey Jr. was doing a lot of Marvel stuff. Maybe he couldn't do a Sherlock Holmes movie with the Avengers stuff that he had going on. I don't know. Maybe they were making Endgame or something at the time. Who knows? I don't remember exactly the timing of that, but once a Holmes, always a Holmes, and that logic, I guess with so many versions of I think there's 51, there's like over 50 movies and Sherlock Holmes, movies and shit, including the Robert Downey Jr. and Benedict Cumberbatch, Sir Ian McKellen, Henry Cavill, John Lee Miller have all played this character, and it's no wonder that the subject has become saturated and unoriginal. You can't really do a lot with Sherlock Holmes. It's just it's the same thing. But I was never a Sherlock Holmes fan or anything. I didn't care nothing about Sherlock Holmes. Kind of like Sada, completely indifferent. But before these movies, before Guy Ritchie's movies, did not care.
Before and after, for me, I'm indifferent.
I read all those books, man. I read The Hounds of Basketball. I read all those shows. I read all those songs. It was a time in my life I was bored, and that's what I had. So I had to do a lot. So I did a lot of but they are very entertaining. When you read them, they're very very entertaining.
I mean,
and well written. They're very well written.
They got to be, because they've been around forever, and they're still talking about them to this day. So they got to be good. But this time, rumors are that two unique Sherlock Holmes actors, right, are set to get back into the movie together. So, but Henry Cavill obviously plays Sherlock Holmes in the Enola Holmes Netflix joint. I guess that's about his daughter, and he's playing,
I think, sister. Yeah,
sister. Okay.
Yeah.
It's about a female Sherlock Holmes, basically, and he's, I guess, plays Sherlock Holmes and is like a side guy in the thing. But I don't know.
Well, I think they've had 2 movies from that so far. I'm not sure if they're the third, but
for that Netflix series with the female Sherlock.
There was
2 Enola Holmes. Yeah, it's 2 Enola Holmes movies. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with Cavill, and given the fact that Robert Downey Jr. is already headlining the project, as Sherlock Holmes, Cavill will probably play a villain. And
I wonder who he would play.
I know, because Moriarty's already cast. There's already someone playing Moriarty. So I don't know. You read the Sherlock Holmes shit. So maybe is there another Moriarty level guy in Sherlock Holmes?
Nah, Moriarty is the ultimate. He's like he's
the opposite of Sherlock. He's like his counterpart.
He's like General Zod to Superman.
Or I was gonna say Eobard Thawne to Flash.
Like that. Yeah, he's like his arch nemesis.
Yeah, right.
Like that's his. He's just as smart, but he's just more calculated. He's more laid back, and he's devious. Like he's just Sherlock Holmes in a devious nature.
Yeah,
that's like if you read the James Bond books, like, and not to get off subject,
right?
They like if you ever read a book, if you ever read those books. The ones that we got with Daniel Craig, the reason why I love those so much is because they are so close to how James Bond acts in the books. Like in the books, he get caught a lot. He gets tortured. He gets they do it. He's not as smooth and savvy, like they depicted him in the last joints, but. This I like. This one just being a more modern Sherlock Holmes. I like the take on it, man. Whereas in the James Bond, I like the way they did it more like the real James Bond in the books than I did with Sherlock. I just like it better.
Right.
Speaking of Superman, James Gunn did debunk that Superman will have a son on his Twitter feed. Stating that he never said he would. And he did clear up the whole Superman Legacy thing by letting everybody know that Superman Legacy will be about a younger version of Superman, but not his son. And that he did go on to say that there could be a son in the future, but that would be an older Lois and Clark, because they did have their son when they were older. So he was saying that if he introduced Kyle, right? John, whatever his name is. The other boy's name is. If he introduced John now, it would actually rob the audience of meeting him later. So he would rather build up to that than just throw it on you now. And so he said that Superman
You're gonna
Legacy.
have to if anybody's gonna be if anybody's gonna care
Interested
about
in
it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now he did clear up the fact that he wrote Superman Legacy, that Superman Legacy and all that was in plans like 6 months before all the Black Adam stuff. Like, so he already knew what direction he was going in, and it wasn't like he came in and was like, "Oh, this guy got to go, that guy got to." He already had a plan. He already had everything, and he went on there and cleared it all up. And was like, "Look, I never said anything that you guys are saying. I'm just telling you that we started this project way before The Rock came in and introduced and wanted to bring Cavill back. Like, he was saying, I didn't say we couldn't use Cavill. He just wasn't in the plans for what they told me we were supposed to
do. A lot of people don't get that because he's right. That's true. You know, he even said on Twitter that he's currently very far into the Superman Legacy. You know, the production, the script, the whole deal, and being far along is not strange, even though he just started, because, you know, like you said, he recently revealed that he was hired to write this movie over 6 months ago, way before, you know, he became the DC CEO, before he was even, you know, offered that job or anything. And the long time that he's had to develop the best script possible is perfect, because, you know, DC needs its Superman reboot to be a hit. It needs to be everything. Like, this movie has to be a game changer. And with some big ups and downs, you know, the old DCEU proved itself to be very divisive, and which eventually led to the, you know, the new Gunn being the, you know, new manager, and Peter Safran, and deciding to reboot DC's live action universe under the DCU banner together. And one of the most, you know, iconic heroes, obviously Superman, is a main target that they have to focus on. What we're gonna do here, and while Zack Snyder's version of Superman has, you know, it's got some critics, but overall, and Henry Cavill was never the problem. Like, no one had a problem with Cavill. Like, people that had issues with the movies and the you know, Zack Snyder's and the whole thing, nobody had a problem with Cavill personally. You know, at least not. I'm sure there's exceptions, but, you know, Gunn made and sort of made a lot of people mad last year when he announced that Cavill would not be returning as Clark Kent. But the idea behind that decision is to have the Superman reboot movie focus on Clark Kent at an earlier point in his life, with one report claiming the character will be around 25 years old in the movie, hence why Cavill could not play him. And following a number of middling, critically received movies, you know, featuring Superman in the old DCU, DC needs Superman Legacy to be a resounding success. And if the movie is anything less, then Cavill's, you know, DCU Superman exit is going to come back to haunt Gunn. I mean, it's going to really kick him in the ass. And he knows it. Like, he knows that if this movie is not the shit, everyone's going to just shit all over him for dumping Cavill, because they're going to say, see? And,
they're already doing that. I am already doing that. So we'll see.
I think the main criticisms surrounding the characterization of Cavill Superman in the DCU are related to how Superman did not feel like his more hopeful persona from the comics, you know, his more upbeat self, which apparently Superman Legacy aims to change by veering the DC universe Superman away from the darker storylines. And I'm afraid, though, that what Gunn is going to do is try to make it like Marvel in more ways than one, like in more ways than just the, you know, the unified universe, but also in trying to make it more bubbly, more colorful, more light, more upbeat, which I don't
know. I don't know about him writing this movie. I don't think that's a good idea.
He's already apparently very far into it. And Gunn's DCU as a whole will be more faithful to the comics than DC has ever been before, movie-wise. And with the writer's room for the overall story of the DC universe, even including the DC Comics author, Tom King, you know, some people are not even happy about that. Some people don't like Tom King. Some people don't, you know, like him personally, not so much his writing or whatever, but he is a comic author. So, you know, whenever you have a comic movie and you have comic book authors, comic book fans, people that love comics, people that are involved, they gotta really try hard to fuck that up, because go back and look at all the movies that sucked and all the movies, they're all made by people that don't know comics, and they're just completely, not even related to the comic books. And every time they do that, it fails. So, Hollywood being Hollywood, they're always gonna try to make shit their own. But these companies, guys, Marvel and DC, they're billions of dollars at risk here and in jeopardy. And so, they're like fucking scared right now because everything is crumbling. Marvel, DC, the movies, it's just going down. Like superhero movies are starting to not look like that guaranteed gold anymore. And so they've got to do something. And if going more comic accurate is something they haven't done yet, it seems logical that would be something you would want to try at least once. At least really try it. Like really, let's really convert. Let's really adapt some shit.
Yeah, it's something we've been asking for. Yeah, you're right. We've been begging for it. Like we done everything except for sell our body on the corner to get it. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like they just won't do it, and the fans are like, "Look, what you gave us was cool, but we know you could do better and give us more comic accurate stuff." Hollywood just has to throw their twist on things, because they're so worried about the casual audience that it overshadows everything. And what they don't understand is that you have just as much of a big market with the hardcore audience as you do with the casual.
Yeah. Yep. The news that the Lord of the Rings franchise was returning under the stewardship of Warner Brothers was mostly greeted with a response ranging somewhere between a sigh of resignation and just I don't give a fuck. But if Peter Jackson couldn't come close to replicating his own standards with the Hobbit trilogy, then what chance does does someone else have? Unfortunately, that's not the way Hollywood works, for better or worse. And David Zaslav has already made it clear that he might be the most IP hungry executive in the industry. And having already resurrected Middle Earth, in spite of Prime Video's billion-dollar investment, The Rings of Power, they're still doing a whole nother Lord of the Rings movie that's by some other company. And it's only a matter of time before, he's going to start doing some Harry Potter shit. But it's the DCU that is getting its, fresh coat of paint first. They're the ones that are going to get buffed and polished. And with James Gunn and Peter Safran are sort of the ones tasked to do that, and they've done that so far. James Gunn has done pretty well with comic movies so far, but the comic, I don't know. It just really hasn't really led up to the hype or expectations. And speaking during the company's quarterly earnings call, it was David Zaslav sort of made it clear that he's demanding the superhero sandbox and Superman Legacy to deliver on the potential. Like money has always been spoken loudest in the film business. You know what I'm saying? Money, it's always the bottom line. That's the one that's going to win over story. It's going to win over actors. It's going to win over what fans want. But David Zaslav's sort of pivot towards focusing almost all of Warner Brothers' energies on franchise fare could have a long-term effect. Should the studio suffer from a smattering of notable bombs that just like dominoes or something, but the pressure is really on for Gunn here because they have to deliver, or DC's just done, and they're fully aware of that. But apparently, this Superman movie is a game changer, and he thinks so. Yeah, he seems to think so. Zaslav, he said.
Yeah.
He said, I was going to tell you what he said. He said, we're a storytelling company. He said, we're a storytelling company. But I believe that we have an overwhelming advantage in the marketplace with the IP that we own to take and get that advantage. He said, we have to create great content with that IP. That's storytelling IP. And we haven't done a movie in 10 years. We haven't done new Harry Potter content in over a decade, and Lord of the Rings, which is a fantastic franchise. And as you know, for us, DC alone could and should be a game changer. I think there was a lot left on the table, and we got to take those swings, and we got some of the best creatives in the industry right now focused on those swings. End quote. Yeah, that's it. Well, what was you gonna say though?
I'm gonna say that the one thing that they did say that is a plus for for fans like us is that a lot of things are gonna already be established. We're not gonna get like, remember how we were talking before about the origin story? We're like, yo, I'm tired of the origin story. Like, I'm tired of watching Superman fly to Earth, the Krypton blow up. I'm tired of Batman watching his parents die. Like, let's just get to the Gunn did confirm that in this movie it's gonna be established already. Everybody just doesn't know each other as well as they would. So we're not gonna get an origin story. We're gonna get, he's already Superman. He's younger, but he's gonna come into his own, during this movie, and I guess the sequels that come after it, and the toys that they're gonna put out. So, speaking of toys, Todd McFarlane just introduced the Titans figure wave, which makes Sada very happy.
My God.
And I got the pictures for you.
Yes. Yes, they got Troy, Arsenal, Nightwing, and Raven. Just for you, Sada.
Oh my God.
I know Reno got the pictures. I know Reno.
Oh yeah, because they're fucking dope. And what's the guy? The guy that's kind of like Hawkeye.
Arsenal.
He's like got a bow and arrow and shit.
That used to be Red Arrow. That was Red Arrow.
I believe. Arsenal. That's his name.
That's Red Arrow. That's right. Remember he got his arm chopped off. When he got his arm chopped off, and they cloned him, and then Lex Luthor gave him a prosthetic. And in the future, not in the future, but in later iterations, he didn't have to use a bone arm because the arm did damn near everything.
Right.
Pretty much.
Arsenal's dope.
The Arsenal.
Yeah. Arsenal is the version of Red Arrow we got when he stepped from under Green Arrow's shadow as a sidekick.
Yeah, that's Arsenal and
Donna Troy.
And then you got Raven and Nightwing. Personally, I think Raven is the best looking one out of all four of these.
Yeah, and you got two female characters. You got two female characters too. That's the real thing. It's kind of like.
Yeah, Donna Troy looks nice. I like Donna Troy's too, and Arsenal's not that bad, or Red Arrow, whatever he wants to call himself.
Yeah, no. And Nightwing.
I think Nightwing's looks the worst out of all of them.
Yeah, it does.
And I love Nightwing, but his thing just looks basic. So I don't know. It
does. That's why some figures I don't get, and like people ask me, they'll be like, well, they look at what I have, and it's like, but you don't have it. It's not like Thor and Iron Man and Captain America and Spider-Man. It's like a lot of like, because I don't buy the figures for the character. I buy it for how good the figure looks. If that makes sense. Like I might it's a Batman figure, okay, first, but I'm not just gonna buy it because it's Batman. It has to look dope. There might be a character that I don't even know who it is, but if it's a dope looking figure, I'll get it and learn about the character. Right. But so basically I buy them for how the figure looks versus what the character is. So I don't even. So Nightwing could be my favorite one of these, but it'd probably be the one I wouldn't buy.
Now, Reno, would you take the other Nightwing that they put out? Because they got a Gotham Knights one, and then they have
There's another one.
There's another one that they put out. Yeah. So you actually use those Nightwings instead of that one if you like those better.
Yeah, but McFarlane Toys has been on a roll lately with a dope lineup of DC action figures. I mean, we recently saw more Batman figures arrive from Hush, the Hush story arc, and that was just the beginning. And then since then, we've seen Page Punchers, Aquaman wave, Black Manta, Aqualad. McFarlane also just dropped one of the most anticipated DC multiverse waves with this Dark Trilogy, the Dark Knight Trilogy line, and then because that's got Joker, Batman, Two-Face, Scarecrow with the Build-A-Figure Bane, and that wave was pretty impressive. I don't really buy movie figures. Like if it's a figure from the movie version, like I only buy like the comic versions of characters. I just don't really like the movie versions too much. The only movie version figure I think I've got is Deadpool. The only movie version figure I've got is Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. Every other figure I've got is based on comics, or Star Wars or whatever. But yeah,
I don't mind either. Yeah.
But these are the older, wiser Titans. Not the Go guys, but they're back. And,
I think Beast Boy is the Build-A-Figure. The Beast Boy is the Build-A-Figure.
Yeah.
I love Beast Boy.
Yeah. But I would like to see a Titans-inspired Cyborg and a Beast Boy figure down the line. Like a regular size one. But yeah, the whole team would be dope. The whole team would be dope.
Wish, bro. I wish, man. They just don't.
But they haven't revealed what the Build-A-Figure is for the Titans wave yet. I'm just dude at here.
I seen the arms.
I saw a Beast because I saw a big Beast Boy. It was like a big Hulk looking dude that was Beast Boy. I saw that figure too, but I don't know what that's to. It's not the Build-A-Figure for this what do you call it, wave. But I know the one you're talking about. I saw that shit too yesterday. I was looking at all this stuff. And then
they said
bro, it's gone.
Man.
Fuck.
They said that Aquaman 2's test screenings were very poor, and audiences were walking out.
Saw that.
Walking out a couple days ago, man. I read that a couple days ago. Yeah, I was tripping. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, this and The Flash has had so many test screenings, which is like not good. So I don't know. Man, I wonder if Amber Heard is still a part of this film, because if they put out any sort of promotional material with her in it, you can guarantee that it's just not gonna pull in the viewers like they wanted to. So I'm wondering.
Yeah, a lot of people hate that chick.
But yeah, the test screenings are really bad, so I don't know what that means. I don't know.
But yes, David Zaslav has doubled down on the groundwork being laid out for James Gunn, for the DCU plans. And what he said we're laser focused on building this DC 10-year plan. He said James was writing Superman Legacy. We're spending time with him and Peter, and he had a vision for DC that we're all in on. He presented that to you and the press about a month ago. It's one of the biggest value creation opportunities for us. I think it could and should be huge because it wasn't being pushed on. If you look at DC, Harry Potter, and Lord of the Rings, and then you take a look at Warner as a company, without those three, it's those three of the tentpole products that when someone's at dinner anywhere in the world and they look at their watch at 8 o'clock and you mention Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, in every country, they leave dinner because they got to go home and view the product they love. And it gives a huge advantage with those tentpoles. And that's where he said we're a storytelling company, but I believe that we have an overwhelming advantage in the marketplace and blah, blah, blah. But yeah.
Okay. They're a storytelling company that sucks at storytelling right now. So I don't know. They need to get it together.
It's yeah, because he, and it's clear that he believes that there's plenty of exciting things coming, and he's all, he he really believes, what he's saying about, loving the stuff that's coming and all that, because if he didn't, he wouldn't be backing it, because it's all about money with this guy. And so he feels it can make a lot of money. That's basically when he says something is good, he feels it can make a lot of money. And that doesn't always bode well for those of us who value story over likes or whatever, popularity or whatever. But hey, what are you going to do? And Ezra Miller will be replaced. Yeah, Ezra Miller is being removed from The Flash and replaced with a familiar face, according to the rumors. I hope so. The DCEU is going through all this shit, and it was definitely a muddled franchise, soon to be completely reimagined and rebranded. But yeah, man, they I don't know which one it is. I don't know who it's gonna be, but
it won't be for this movie. I can tell you that.
No, but yeah, it's definitely his last outing as Flash is definitely gonna be in this The Flash movie in June, and be his last one. But while this new DC Comics inspired movie has been definitely met with a lot of early test screenings and excitement and all of that, and it's been dulled by the actors and controversials, and all that shit. But yeah, I was surprised that they went ahead. I think all of us were surprised that they went ahead with this movie with all the shit that he was doing. But obviously, they had too much money already, at stake. Yeah, but
Batgirl got the axe.
Batgirl got the axe.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Batgirl got the axe. That's what
they have money in that movie too,
but
so according to filmed it, it was done filming before Flash.
This is what you want to hear, Stu. This is what you're looking for right here. It says, according to the direct, John Campea, I don't know, has stated that they've been told that Ezra Miller will be replaced by the CW's Arrowverse Barry Allen Grant Gustin in the DCU. It is a rumor they themselves have a hard time believing, but as Flash movie is exploring the notion of the multiverse, then there's a possibility to see other iterations of the character throughout Muschietti movie. And the idea of Gustin replacing Miller would tie into earlier reports regarding their removal. Grant Gustin, of course, has played Barry Allen, blah, 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 blah. I mean, we've been hearing this Grant Gustin rumor forever, but it's just more like been what fans have just like wishful thinking. But this is published yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there was a time when Grant stepping in as the definitive Flash for the movie verse would have been great, but as it stands now, I don't know. I think we could just do someone new. Whatever, they've been touting this as a reboot, even though it's not. So why not just do a new Flash? Just do someone complete. Bring in Wally, make him the definitive Flash, instead of Barry. It's more interesting to me, anyway. So
no, you're right. A lot of people like Wally better. Yeah, Wally is more. I
wouldn't mind if Gustin had a cameo. Like that would be cool. But like stepping in, it might be too late. At least for me.
That's interesting.
That is.
No, because usually everybody's all gung ho for Gustin to be the Flash. I've not heard that before, but it's an interesting point, because you have a point, and you're right too. This is supposed to be a reboot. It is absolutely not a total reboot, because Gunn even said they're recasting some but not all of the characters, and
hey. I just feel like bring Wally. In the animated verse, Wally was the definitive Flash, and he was great. So I feel like bring that back. They always try to inject Wally's personality into Barry, anyways. So, you know, just kind of just leave that. I think we're good on that.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. That's a good point. Stu, you don't agree. You want Gustin.
Nah,
you want Gustin?
I wouldn't mind having Gustin. I just want anybody other than Ezra, to be honest with you.
Yeah, honestly, it's like anybody is fine.
Reno, you could play Reno. If you went up there and played the Flash, I'd be happy. I don't give a damn. I just don't.
Hey, I'm willing.
Because you know what? You know what I'm tired of, guys? I'm just tired of them. Like every character has to be lighthearted and jokey. So like, I'm tired of them doing that. Like Flash isn't. That's not Flash. Like so. Like I hate that. I hate that they do. Like when he was in the Justice League movie, he's kind of annoying. Like you know, like with Batman, he's like, oh, shh. Like he's like, oh, shh. Like come on, dude. Like we don't need
stumbling and falling and shit.
Yeah, like I got a problem.
When is Barry Allen clumsy?
Never.
When has he been clumsy? What the fuck is it? Who thought of that? Let's have him be clumsy. That's Barry Allen. What? That didn't make sense, man. I didn't like it from the gate. I didn't like anything about Ezra Miller. I didn't like him before he was doing all that weird, creepy shit. So
I didn't like none of that. You're sitting in my what did he say when Bruce was in it? He said, "You're sitting in my second favorite chair."
Yeah, I don't know. It was
my favorite.
That long line that they thought was it.
Chair.
Yeah.
I was like, why?
They had that whole line play out and then a pause because that was supposed to be it. I'm like, this is not as funny as you think it is at all, actually. He was like, that doesn't explain why you're sitting in my second favorite chair. Something like that.
All right. That's my homeboy Damian Wayne. My favorite Robin, but Sada's least favorite Robin. Is going to be a spoiler for Batman vs. Robin #2 in the comics. But Damian Wayne dons his Batman 666 suit for the first time in the mainstream continuity at the end of Batman and Robin 2. Now, the outfit is renowned for its big collar and oversized coat, replacing Batman's usual cape. Has been given to Damian by his great-grandmother, Mother Soul. Now, Mother Soul refers to the suit as the ultimate symbol of the ascension of Damian Wayne into his destined birthright, and presents it as a gift to him, who's currently under the control of the devil Nisha, an ancient demon in league with Mother Soul, with his grandmother on the Ra's al Ghul side, not the Wayne side. But that's the Batman costume, I think, that they're that Batman wore, and now Damian.
Like
it's weird.
What comic?
I like. I don't know. What? No, this is Batman and Robin #2. That just coming out. But the Batman 666 suit, named for its appearance in the 2007 Batman #666, issue number 666, which is written by Grant Morrison, which a lot of this Brave and the Bold stuff that we're going to see in the DCU is going to be based on. And I'm going to give you guys the comic books that a lot of the DCU, Gunn stuff is going to be based on, so you guys can kind of get it, familiar with it. But yeah, so the Batman #666 suit worn by Damian Wayne of a possible dystopian future, who had sold his soul to the devil for supernatural abilities, and now serving as Gotham's only Batman in the aftermath of Bruce Wayne's death. And Damian wore the suit in a grim, bloody crusade. It saw him soak up far more gunshots than his father ever did. And thanks to his new Satan-granted regeneration powers. But the origins of this version of Damian were revealed in the 2013 miniseries Damian, Son of Batman, which showed his decision, to start killing criminals after the death of Dick Grayson. And Batman 666 would make other appearances in the 2019 DC Nuclear Winter special, recent issues of Future State, Gotham, and Batman Urban Legends. Number 6 or number 7? I think it's number 7, but never before have we really seen, the Damian of mainstream continuity been so closely connected with his alternate future counterpart before, now that we're seeing this suit in Batman versus Robin number 2. So it's cool because it's basically like a throwback for us fans of Damian Wayne who that sort of Batman 666 story. So it's dope to see that come back out right now. So you guys can you can get that now. Yeah, Batman. Yeah, it's out right now because today. Yeah, it's out. It came out. Yeah, it came out Tuesday, but it's out. It's been out since Tuesday. Yeah, so yeah, check that out. Batman versus Robin number 2. What's going on over here? I was hyped for the trench. I'm telling you. What's up? Best Batman was Batman Forever. What's good? I'm not even gonna. I got nothing for that. We're not gonna touch
Hey
that
man,
one.
To some people it might have been, man.
Hey,
that's true. So I can.
We don't knock it. We don't knock it, man. If you like Batman Forever, please, let us know. Break it down to us. Let us know why it's the best. Why was the best one for you? I mean, listen, it's stuff I like. People be like, I don't know, man. Like I'm like I just watched Black Panther again this week. You know what I mean? I just watched Black Panther again on Friday. So like,
he's making another confession, Sada.
Dang, watching it again.
Not again. So again. We were talking about the other day. We weren't talking about it. We was showing you this figure, but it's the Japanese Spider-Man figure that we were talking about. I was showing you. There's a Japanese Batman too. Okay, we know the Japanese Spider-Man, but there's a Japanese Batman, and you can see him there with Ghostmaker in the middle. But this is coming out of Batman Incorporated #1. So check that out. Is now available. I think it also came out Tuesday. Oh no, this has been out a while actually. So this one, in this first issue, I just thought it was cool because we got the Batman of Japan is named Jiro Osamu, second guessing his current identity, and Jiro and Clown Hunter are investigating Lex Luthor's labs in the issue when the Dark Knight of Japan says to his partner, he says, just call me Jiro. And before the two continue discussing the makeup of the latest iteration of Batman Incorporated, which is now led by Ghostmaker, felt weird that everyone had a code name and I was just Batman in Japan, he says. And he's like, especially when Batman of China popped up, and still figuring out a new code name, and all the good ones have been taken for now. Is just call me Jiro. But basically, he wants a new name. He's trying to come up with a name, and he wants to have something different than just Batman. And ironically, the name Batman Japan is the second superhero moniker that he adopted. And when he debuted in the pages of the first Batman Incorporated series back in 2012, Jiro was the protege of Mr. Unknown, which was a homegrown Japanese superhero who was killed by Lord Deathman. And Jiro initially donned the black hat and the domino mask of his mentor and the new Mr. Unknown, and helped Batman and Catwoman defeat Lord Deathman, before deciding to call himself Batman of Japan as a sign of respect. Originally wearing a costume, quite similar to the regular Batman, he eventually adopts a more colorful attire reminiscent of classic Sentai heroes like Kamen Rider, and if you're into anime or manga and stuff. But it's pretty dope what's going on with Batman Incorporated. Batman Incorporated #5 just came out, okay, and which in Batman Incorporated #5, we put Ghostmaker in charge of Batman Incorporated, and I don't know if you guys know, remember who Ghostmaker is. He's
Yes, we do.
You know who Ghostmaker is, but he
actually had a figure, Tom McFarlane one.
Yes, yes, yeah, it's super dope figure, and but so putting Ghostmaker in charge of Batman Incorporated might have seemed like a questionable decision to many, but Batman Incorporated #5 proves that he is the right man for the job, not simply because of how talented he is, you know, but because that he's finally beginning to believe in Batman's values, and by trying to be more like Batman, he's just becoming a better person. And you know, during the issue, he's finally confronted Phantom One and addressed their failed partnership, and he won the fight, of course. But rather than punish Phantom One, he let the boy go, believing, you know, that he's worthy of a second chance. And this is something that he learned from Batman. And it wasn't a notion that, you know, he believed until confronted by his own past, you know. But as a result, I think Ghostmaker proves that he's been, you know, that he's grown as both a hero and as a human in this. It's a dope. The artwork is so dope in this. But during the issue, Phantom One confronts him, and he's trying to seek revenge for basically him leaving him to die when he was injured. And what his apprentice didn't realize was that Ghostmaker had left because he had to prioritize saving 10 lives over the one hero's life. And it was simple math to Ghostmaker, right? Because, you know, he did make the criminal responsible for what happened to his old partner, you know, but you got to save 10 civilians over the one hero is the way he looked at it. But it's a really good issue, man. This is turning out to be way cooler than I thought Batman Incorporated. But, you know, Ghostmaker is not, and he'll never be a carbon copy of Batman. He's not going to be Batman, but you know, and this attitude, you know, but a year or two ago, he would have just probably killed Phantom One and all his allies just for daring him to try to kill him. You know, he had an edge that he just sort of, you know, stayed on that, like just teetering on he just the slightest thing would just push him over, you know, and at all times, you know, regardless of who was on the other end of his sword, it didn't matter. And this interaction sort of proves that he's becoming more open-minded to the ideas of others, and, you know, not judging people just on their past, but who they might become in the future. And that's sort of something that Batman has sort of instilled in him. And it's a good, it's what we call character development, and it's great character development. That is Batman Incorporated #5. Check that out.
Batman Incorporated has been running for a little while now. It's actually pretty good too.
Yeah. #5 just hit the shelf.
Yeah, I gotta get it. Check it out. See what's going down.
So the main our what you call it, thumbnail about DC Power Hour, about the Lanterns show, because it's a new HBO series that I'm really excited about. Live action. It's centered around the Green Lanterns. It's supposed to be pushed into the forefront of this first chapter of DCU slate, and everything that you should know about it. I think I got some. No, I don't have those picks anymore. But basically, they're describing it as a huge HBO quality event, very much in the vein of True Detective. That's a quote. A huge HBO quality event. That's exactly what I want to hear. And I think you guys have heard me say it a bunch of times. I don't like CW. I don't like network TV. I like cable shows like HBO quality type shit. And the fact that they use that verbiage is very encouraging for me, because that's like that's how I sort of qualify something as being good. But he sort of so Peter Safran is saying that this is a very important show for us, indicating that it serves a large part of the DCU's world building. He doesn't just mean it's important for us, money wise or anything. He means for the story. He's saying, that it plays a really big role in leading into the DCU's main story that they're telling across all the film, animated, TV shows. All of that is going to be basically a cohesive, not just a cohesive unit or story, but or universe, but a cohesive story like Marvel does. In which, the Lanterns is set to focus on, obviously, the two famous Green Lanterns, Hal Jordan and John Stewart. In the comics, Hal Jordan is the test pilot and a founding member of the Justice League. And John Stewart is an ex-Marine who ultimately becomes a Green Lantern and is a member of its honor guard. And the pair had a lot of run-ins in the comics, notably during Green Lantern number 25 by Jeff Johns. And during this storyline, Hal and John sort of clashed when Hal punched John. No, Hal punched a Marine that was being physical with a woman, and John jumped in, I guess, in what do you call it, to solidarity with the Marine, and they ended up slugging it out. But that sort of commotion between the two Green Lanterns teased the type of cosmic officers that they would be in the Space Corps, with Hal diving headfirst into missions and John sort of defending his team members violently and valiantly and all of that shit. And basically, this show, Lanterns, is going to revolve around Hal Jordan and John Stewart investigating a mystery that Peter Safran described as a terrestrial-based one that ties into the DCU's overall story. And he continued by teasing that the plot will involve this ancient horror on Earth, meaning that Hal and John will have their work cut out for them in their investigation on Earth. And he said these guys are basically, super cops on Precinct Earth. And as to how Lanterns will weave into the different films and shows under the DC umbrella, Safran used Peacemaker as a good example, noting, how the spinoff includes characters that have appeared in films like Suicide Squad. He said the story is going to weave back and forth between the films and the television shows. Peacemaker is a good example of how that works, and that's what we're going to do with this big overarching story that we're telling. And James Gunn also described Lantern's story as complicated, indicating that that it's more suited for television, more suited for a series, something that could be long and drawn out. And he said it's all story based. To us, storytelling is 100% king. So if it's a story that's more complicated, like the Lanterns or the Waller story, or has more of an independent TV vibe, like Booster Gold, that's more suited for television. It has to do with tone, storytelling, and if it's something that we can tell in 2 hours and 10 minutes, or is it something that we need 7, 8, or 9 hours for? And that's of course, because that's why I like shows. That's why I personally have been way more into shows than movies lately, because movies haven't been all that great in the past decade, and shows have just been getting better and better. Series are like 10-hour movies with multiple seasons. So hell yeah, right? So that's perfect for me, man. When I hear this kind of shit, bro, I'm excited. Lanterns is confirmed to be separate from Greg Berlanti's Green Lantern series for HBO Max that they were doing, that is no longer moving forward. And Safran explained, to the Hollywood Reporter, he said that Barlante's vision was more of a space opera, which is different from the Lantern's vibe being akin to True Detective. And he said, our vision is more True Detective, more of a terrestrial-based investigation story, and we all agreed to part ways. I'm not happy about that because a space opera sounds exactly what I would want to see a Green Lantern show to be, because I like all that cosmic shit. And, when they say space opera, they're talking about like Star Wars, something that is it takes place in space, but it's not scientific. It's not like a rocket to the moon or something. It's like Buck Rogers type shit, And so that would have been fucking cool, man. Like, I'm kind of disappointed, but at the same time, big fan of True Detective, big fan of HBO shows, big fan of Jon Stewart. So let's see how this goes. Berlanti's Green Lantern show initially focused on several different lanterns. Alan Scott, the original one from the 30s, Guy Gardner in the modern era, and a future hero named Sojourner Mullen. And but it was scaled back into a version that only focused on Alan Scott and Guy Gardner. And Seth Grahame-Smith was supposed to be the showrunner, with Finn Wittrock and Jeremy Irvin being tapped as its lead stars. But not going to happen. Sorry. But yeah, given the scale of Lantern's story and the world building potential, it's possible that it might not even come out until like 2027.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I just don't know how much world building we're supposed to do if we're on Earth the entire first season of the show. I don't know how much world building you can do outside of referencing what's out there. So I don't know.
Yeah. Lanterns allows DC.
One of the biggest complaints for that movie with Ryan Reynolds. Very big complaints. Everybody said they wish the movie would have just took place on Oa.
Yeah.
Like, they hated the fact that he did anything on Earth.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I don't want it to be on Oa because I want him to go do stuff,
right,
deal with criminals.
Nah, you want right, you want what I want. That's what I want to see. But
yeah,
a lot of the casual audience was like, oh, the Oa thing was better, and we should just. But that movie, I don't even know how they got that movie off the ground. But then again, we have Highlander too. So,
but Lanterns, the show Lanterns is sort of gonna allows the DCU's larger story to expand on the cosmic side, because it's gonna be they're protecting Earth Sector 2814. So I guess they'll have something going on Earth, but that there'll be parts in the show where they will be on Oa, or they'll be out in space, or they'll be.
I mean, we don't know. We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know if they're even going to travel to Oa or the other sectors of space. That's what I'm worried about.
I'd be blown away if they did a Green Lantern show and never went into space or anything.
I mean, because I don't know. The thing with the TV shows, smaller budget.
Think
I just
HBO
don't
show,
know if they're
budget.
going to like travel and do all that stuff in space. I just don't know if the budget's going to really allot for that.
Well, they keep saying HBO quality, meaning big budget, meaning.
But still, I've seen that in these other DC shows, and they don't like. I think the best use of it has been via Doom Patrol, and even then they don't. It's really all on Earth, and the most that they use is for someone like Mansoor Mala or the butt creatures or whatever. Yeah. It's just like for Lanterns, if we're gonna really explore space, I don't know if they're gonna have the proper budget for that. I'm just not sure with the TV format.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping that when they say things like HBO quality show, that they're meaning like Game of Thrones type budget, like big budget show, basically 10-hour movie type thing.
Yeah, with Lord of the Rings budget.
Yeah.
See, that's film. That's you're stepping into a new thing.
That's a hell of a budget. Yeah, put a budget
I'm talking
in that.
Not Lord of the Rings. You don't mean the movie. You mean
Rings of
Power.
Rings of Power.
Rings of Power.
Rings of Power.
Yeah.
Give it a budget like that.
Budget.
Yeah.
Hook
us up.
Amazon.
Yeah, take care of us. Take care of us, man. Hook us up.
I don't know if HBO
Power budget.
Amazon money.
Sada, you got to remember, HBO did Game of Thrones. They did, that they have a lot of really big budget shows like that. I think Game of Thrones every season was as much as a feature film, so it's like $1 million episodes and shit. So, again. That's what I hope they mean when they're saying HBO quality show, and considering that the show has that sort of True Detective vibe and a potentially long first season, because Peacemaker had 8 episodes in the season. But Lanterns is also poised to show it's going to be more of an think of like a buddy cop movie, more of an interesting, bond between the two Lanterns and stuff like that they can use to cross over into other projects like Justice League. But I don't know, their confirmation that the mystery that Lanterns is trying to uncover ties into the DCU's overarching story means that Hal and John will be used as a narrative launchpad for bigger projects, and the two will likely be the ones to explain the ramifications of their case to characters like Superman and Batman. And they're talking about they said something about like a dark entity or a dark horror. That's what they're saying. A dark horror is on Earth that they have to deal with. I'm sure whatever it is isn't going to be something that they're going to. Oh, this ancient horror on Earth. I don't think it's something that's going to just start, to happen and end all on Earth. I think it's just something that they're going to sort of uncover, and that whatever ancient dark horror is might end up being something more of our overarching, big bad issue that the whole gods and monsters thing is supposed to be about, because they keep talking about this overarching story and overarching villains and all of that. So, hopefully they this sort of, starts on Earth and goes into space. I don't know, man, but
fingers crossed.
How many characters does DC have that you could think of that could just be street level heroes, could just be like guys walking around Earth doing stuff on Earth? You got Grifter. There's tons, right?
There's a lot.
There's tons.
There's a lot of street level heroes, I would say, for DC.
Yeah. And so like it seems odd that they're using the Green Lanterns to do an Earthbound cop buddy story, mystery detective thing. So I can't see it only being that, because they could have just used how many different characters to just do that story. Why are they using Green Lanterns? There has to be something connected to the cosmos or whatever the fuck. I would just assume, because they're using the Green Lanterns.
Well, yeah, I don't doubt that connection is there. I'm like visually though, I don't know if we're going to see that. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Oh yeah, Dave Bautista. I was reading something about him hinting that he could be a good fit for Lex Luthor.
Well, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, let me just read more about what it is. Okay. All this Dave Bautista DC chatter, and I need y'all to hear me out. Oh, it's okay. But that's the black.
It's like what, a fan casting or something? Something that.
Yeah. There was a black Lex Luthor, wasn't there?
What's that?
Hold on, man.
In live action, I don't believe.
No. In animation.
I think
Here, let me show you why I'm asking it. Let me show you why I'm asking.
I don't know. I don't think so, actually. I'm gonna confidently say no. Maybe in Harley Quinn, but yeah. Oh, Norman Reedus in the animated series. He was black there? Okay.
Okay, that's the guy there.
Okay, yeah. Got it. Gotcha.
So that animated series, Lex Luthor. Okay.
Got it.
And that's who he's but Dave Bautista is not black, so I don't know why.
Yeah, but I don't even beyond that, I don't see him as Lex.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't.
They could pull the guy from Titans who played Lex for like an episode. He was pretty good. So
yeah,
they need a new Lex.
Who was the guy that everybody loved? Was it Smallville or?
Oh yeah, that guy. He was good too.
Yeah,
but
everybody loved that dude. But
Smallville.
I think it was Smallville or Lois or Superman and Lois, one of those shows.
Michael Rosenbaum. That's who he's played.
Yeah, he's like a younger guy, bald head dude. Yeah. And I always thought well, I guess he's young because it's a younger Clark Kent. It's got to be Smallville, yeah, because I'm thinking of a young guy that was playing like a younger version of Lex Luthor. But I like older Lex. I definitely like an older Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
I don't like a 20-something Lex Luthor. But yeah, Dave Bautista definitely doesn't fit for me. But I think, this was like a fan thing. It was a Twitter thing. And then he said, Dave Bautista responded. He said, I never thought about that, and now I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about it. But yeah, that's all that was. I was just checking that out before we go. But yeah, y'all, that is that's our show. Stu had to leave a little bit early. Had to get back to work and stuff. Dave could definitely play Doomsday or Mongol. You know what?
That.
Mongol.
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
No?
For Doomsday, no, I can't see him as Mongol. Like I can see him as Doomsday. I
In that
cannot.
picture, he looks like. Hold on, let me tell you what I mean. Let me get a picture of him.
I cannot see that.
Maybe I'm thinking of someone else, but let me get Mongol DC. Yeah. Hold on, let me show you this. Let me show you.
I don't know.
All right, wait. Okay, this is not even. That's like a. All right, this is an action figure of Mongol, but. I wish I could put it right next to that one. All right, there we go. You see how Dave looks right there? Like, doesn't it almost work?
No way. I can't. You don't see it? I can't see him as. I don't know. I don't think I can see it. I mean, maybe with makeup. I don't know. I can see him more as Doomsday than Mongol for sure.
Well, I don't. I mean, I'm taking your word for it because I don't really know anything about Mongol or how he acts or anything. I'm just going by looks. Like I could see Dave.
Yeah.
Looking like him.
Yeah, going by looks, I just cannot. I can't see him as Mongol.
No, not even.
I don't know. Like maybe with makeup, maybe, but right, I can't see it all the way.
All right, let me see if I can. Oh, okay. Here, let me just share the screen. Then we can do a thing real quick before we go. Lots of Mongols. There's Dave.
Mongol. Ow. Mongol.
Like right there, that could be Dave. What else? Is this Darkseid right here? That's Darkseid? Or is that Mongol?
Yeah, that's Darkseid. No, that's Darkseid.
Yeah, Dave could definitely do Darkseid. Yeah, Mongol. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta read up on Mongol. Mongol the Elder? Is that his name?
I think so. I don't know too much about Mongol myself. I've only really seen him in the animated stuff. That's about as much as I know about him. Stu probably knows way more about Mongol.
Yeah. Here's the old one.
Mm-hmm.
That is old school. Yep. All right. But it would definitely be cool to see Mongol in one of these movies or something, man.
He's got to be. I would want him to be the big bad for the first chapter. But I don't even know how they're gonna build up to that with this current slate. But I mean, that's what I would want.
Yeah, definitely. Look at the I love this Two-Face. That's cool. I like that. That's cool. I want to get one of these. I want to get that. I don't remember Two-Face from the 66 Batman looking like that.
Ooh, did he?
That's pretty nice. That's pretty
good. No.
Dave could be Black Adam better than The Rock.
Black Adam?
I mean, a lot of people could do Black Adam better than The Rock. But yeah.
I think visually, I don't know about Dave as what's it called? Black Adam.
Yeah. Doesn't quite fit.
I don't even think was Two-Face in 66. I don't think he was. I don't believe he was.
That's what I'm trying to remember, but like
I don't think he was in there.
Yeah, I don't.
So I don't know why they would market that as such. He definitely. I don't believe he was in there.
Matter of fact, let's find out. Let's see. Two-Face. Yeah, he was. Was it William Shatner? Wait a minute. Yeah, Harvey Dent, Two-Face. Yeah, let me share the screen here real quick.
That's art.
Check that out. No, that's not it. What about this? Is that him?
No, that's art. I saw that. That's linked to what's it called? That's artwork. So that's not from the actual show. I don't think he was. Oh, you know what? Maybe they're basing it on this animated joint in which he was in there. Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. They're basing it on the animated joint. Okay.
What?
Got it.
What? Animated version of the...
Yeah, that. He was...
This one?
That. I think that's on HBO Max. I forgot what it was called, but he was in there. Yeah. He wasn't in 66.
Batman 66 TV show.
Inspired by 66. What is it called? It's on HBO Max.
Why does it says it finally reveals its Two-Face? The Batman
because I think that was the first time in that animated thing. What is it called? Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders. Yeah, that's when he appeared, I think, for the first time. Was in Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders.
Okay. And that's a animated?
Yeah, that was an animated joint. So I think that's what they're basing it off of, not the live action 66 series. Well,
okay, so this is saying that the Batman 66 series had an episode. It's the lost episode, never filmed. It's called The Two-Way Crimes of Two-Face, and finally sees the light of day as a comic. Harlan Ellison. So they wrote it, they never filmed it. It was called The Two-Way Crimes of Two-Face. So they never, but they later did it as a comic. Huh. So yeah, you're right. They're probably basing it on that. But why is William Shatner here? Oh, that's DeviantArt. Okay. Yeah, that's the one character that we did not get.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. What is this? Oh, here we go. Recurring, supporting.
And then the antagonist is next. So they have Penguin.
There we go.
Catwoman,
thank you.
Egghead.
Tut. Joker.
Remember those? Tut. Mad Hatter. Oh, I don't remember that. Mr. Freeze, Penguin. Ooh.
Mr. Freeze, Penguin, Riddler, and Shame. Archer. Oh, the Black Widow. The Bookworm, Shandell and Harry, Nora Clavicle, the Clock King, False Face, Lord Marmaduke, Colonel Gum, aka Perry Rose, Lola Lasagna, Louis the Lilac, Ma Parker, Queen of Diamonds, Minerva, the Minstrel, Pussycat, the Puzzler, Sandman, aka Dr. Somnambula, the Siren, and Dr. Cassandra, and Zelda the Great. Yeah, that's it. That is it, y'all. Dave could be Mr. Freeze in the vein of Arnold.
I can see that.
Yeah, that's Stu if he's series on DVD. He probably does. Ooh. Probably does. But yeah. Stu had to go, man. He had to go to work. He had to clock out early. But yeah. Yep. He's out. But we'll be back. We'll be back Monday. So yeah, have a good Sunday, guys, and we'll see you Monday for hip hop and comics. And we have a great show planned, so don't miss it. And then Monday, and then the Monday after that, I got a special guest for y'all. So all right, y'all, have a good weekend. We'll see you guys Monday. Peace.